Okay, so this is still concept number 3. We're going to say concept number 3, part 2, because this is a more complicated way to use elimination. So far we've learned how to use elimination when we can find common coefficients, but what if there are no common coefficients? What if we have to make them? So in order to do that, we have to multiply one or both equations by some number to create, I'm going to say two things. I'm going to say create matching or opposite coefficients. Because remember, when we're using elimination, we really want opposite because we're subtracting or getting rid of equations. So when we do that, we want it to be easy to get rid of coefficients and equations. Okay, so there are 6 examples in this one. So I'm going to do, 12 examples in this one. So I'm going to do 6 in the video and then 6 in class. So I'll do all the odds in the video like I usually do. Okay, so in number 1, you can see between these two equations there are no common coefficients. There are none that are the same, so I need to multiply one of them or both of them to get a common coefficient. I think if I look at this, so it's all about looking and deciding what's the easiest thing to do. I think the easiest thing to do would be to multiply this top equation by -2 so that it would become way easier to subtract the second one if I multiply everything on the top by -2. So let me zoom in a little bit so you can see. So I'm going to take this equation and multiply it by -2. And I'm just going to put it down here underneath this other equation. So -2 times x is -2x. -2 times 3y is -6y. And then -2 times 6 is -12. So now, since I have opposite coefficients with my x's, I can just add these two together. So 2x and -2x make 0. -7 and -6 make -13y. And -1 and -12 make -13. So I have -13y equals -13. So all I have to do is divide by -13 and y equals 1. So I can take that and plug it into any of these equations up here. I'm probably going to pick the first one because it looks easier. X plus 3 times 1 equals 6. X plus 3 equals 6. If I subtract 3, I get 3. So y equals 1 and x equals 3, so my solution is 3, 1. Okay, so that one was kind of an easy one. So let's move on and do a little bit of a harder one. Number 3. Okay. All right, so move this over. Number 3. 3x minus y equals 14 and 5x plus 4y equals 12. I think it's going to be easier to multiply this top one by 4. Since I already have opposite signs, that makes it really easy. I just have to multiply by 4 to change the coefficients. So I'm going to take this whole thing and multiply it by 4 and write it right underneath this one. So 4 times 3x is 12x. 4 times -y is -4y. 4 times 14 is 56. So now that I have my opposite coefficients, I can just add these two equations together. Okay. So 5x and 12x make 17x. 4y and -4y make 0. And then 56 and 12 make 68. So now all I have to do is divide by 17 to get x. X equals 4. 4 times 17 is 68. Okay, I had to take this and plug it in. I'm going to plug it in the first one. So 3 times 4 minus y equals 14. Well, 3 times 4 is 12. If I subtract 12 from both sides, I get negative y equals 2. If I divide by negative 1 on both sides, I get y equals negative 2. So my solution over here is 4, negative 2. And that's it. So it just adds another element to the already sort of pseudo-complicated elimination process. So it's your job to make sure that you can find common coefficients when you're doing this. Let's do number 5. So this one, it looks like there's a pretty easy way I can multiply to get opposite coefficients. I'm going to multiply, if you haven't thought of this already, the second equation by negative 3 to get an opposite here. So multiply by negative 3. Oops. Why are you all blurry? Let's move this up. It doesn't want to focus. There we go. So I'm going to rewrite this guy over here. 3x minus 3y equals negative 3. Since I'm changing the second one, negative 3 times 2x is negative 6x. Negative 3 times negative y is a positive 3y. And then a negative 3 times a negative 5 is a positive 15. So now I just add those two together. 3x minus 6x is negative 3x. Negative 3y plus 3y is 0. Negative 3 plus 15 is positive 12. Oops. If I divide by negative 3, x equals negative 4. And now I'm just going to plug this into probably this equation here. So 2 times negative 4 minus y equals negative 5. Okay. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. If I add 8 over, I get negative y equals 3. If I divide by negative 1, I get y equals negative 3. So our solution is negative 4, negative 3. Okay. And so that's it for 1, 3, and 5. So now we're going to turn the page and do the other 3 examples on that side. Starting with number 7. Okay. All right. Number 7. What color do I want to do that one? I'll do it in this color. So this time there are no variables with a 1, but we can still find common coefficients. So you have to ask yourself, is it easier to get 3x to look like 7x, or is it easier to get 4y to look like 8y? I think it's easier to get 4y to look like 8y since all I have to do is multiply by 2. Okay, so I just have to multiply that top equation by 2, actually negative 2 so that we can subtract it. Okay, and I'm going to write it underneath this first one, or the second one. So negative 2 times 3x is negative 6x. Negative 2 times 4y is negative 8y. And then negative 2 times 6 is negative 12. So now all I have to do is combine. 7x minus 6x is x. The y's cancel out. I'm not even going to put a 0 there. And then 10 minus 12 is negative 2. So this tells me right away that x equals negative 2. So all I have to do is plug this in. I'm going to plug it into let's plug it into the first one. So 3 times negative 2 plus 4y equals 6. Okay. Well, 3 times negative 2 is negative 6 plus 4y equals 6. If I add 6, I get 4y equals 12. Divide by 4, y equals 3. So my solution, negative 2, 3. Okay. Let's do number 9. We only have 2 left. Okay, this is a little complicated. There is probably no way I can make 5x look like 7x or 9y look like 10y. So in this case, I have to multiply both equations by a number to create opposite coefficients. So I'm going to pick to multiply this first one by -7, the opposite of this one. And then I'm going to pick this one to multiply by 5. I didn't make this one the opposite because I want opposite signs. So if I multiply both by negatives, it's not going to give me opposite signs. So I'm going to multiply one by a negative and one by a positive. And then we're just going to rewrite these over here. So -7 times 5x is -35x. -7 times 9y is -63y. And then -7 times -10 is +70. Okay. So 5 times 7x is 35x. 5 times 10y is 50y. And then 5 times -1 is -5. So all I have to do is add these two together. So my x's cancel out. -63 plus 50 is -13y. And then 70 minus 5 is 65. For some reason my math is wrong, but that's okay. And then I'm going to divide by -13. And if you have a calculator or if you know this, this is -5 times -13 goes into 65. Okay? So I'm going to take this and plug it into the bottom equation. 7x plus 10 times -5 equals -1. So 7x, -5 and 10 make -50. If I add 50, I get 49 on that side. If I divide by 7, I get 7. So our solution to this problem is 7, -5. Okay? And that's it for that one. We just have one more, and we'll be done. Okay? I'm going to do this one in orange. So we're going to do number 11. So we have a couple different options here. We can either make 2x look like 3x or 4y look like -6y. Well, first of all, okay, before we even start that, we need to get these lined up. So I want my number over here, and I want my equal sign, so I need to move y over. So this is actually going to look like 3x plus 6y equals 12. So ignore that guy. Okay, so how can I make 2 look like 3 or 4 look like 6? Either way, it's not going to work, right? I need to multiply both of them by something. So I'm going to multiply this first one by -3, and I'm going to multiply this last one by +2. So then I'm going to write them over here. So -3 times 2x is -6x. -3 times 4y is -12y. -3 times +6 is -18. Okay, now we're going to multiply again. 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times 6y is 12y. And then 2 times 12 is 24. Then we add. X's cancel, y's cancel. So we have 0 plus 0 equals -18 plus 24 is 6. So this says 0 equals 6, which it doesn't. So this is a no solution equation. These two lines are parallel, which means they never ever intersect, and there's no solution. Okay, so that's it. So we'll do the other 6 examples in class together.